the screen went dark. And then suddenly there she was, Rasheeda, live on Instagram, her voice trembling, her eyes red from tears, no flashy filters, no polished setup, just raw emotion pouring out in real time. Within seconds, thousands of fans rushed into the live, flooding the comments with shocked emojis and desperate questions. What happened? Is Kirk involved? Are you okay, sis? The air was thick with suspense as viewers leaned in closer to their screens, unable to look away. This wasn't a staged TV moment, this was heartbreak unfolding in front of an audience of millions. And fans were demanding answers. Her words came out broken, her sentences choked with pauses that only fueled the tension. She spoke about betrayal, about the pain of carrying secrets too heavy to keep. Each phrase was laced with hints of something explosive, yet she stopped short of saying it outright. That silence made the chat spiral into chaos. Fans speculated wildly. Had Kirk done it again? Was this about Jasmine resurfacing? Or was there an even deeper wound that no one saw coming? The uncertainty pushed emotions higher, leaving everyone on edge. At one point, Rasheeda clutched her chest and whispered, "I can't keep pretending everything is fine." That single line sent a shockwave through the live. The comments flew so fast the screen blurred. Longtime supporters begged her not to give up, while critics typed accusations like daggers. The divide among fans was brutal, half rallying to protect her, half demanding she finally tell the truth. The family, the marriage, the reputation, all of it seemed to hang in the balance as Rasheeda struggled to steady her voice. And then, just when it seemed she might break the silence, Rasheeda stared into the camera, wiped a tear, and whispered, "Y'all deserve to know the truth." The live cut out instantly. No explanation, no closure, just raw shock, leaving fans breathless and furious, determined to uncover the secret behind Rasheeda's emotional breakdown. The live had barely ended when the internet went into a frenzy. Fans were scrambling to replay screen recordings, dissecting every word Rasheeda had managed to choke out before the abrupt cut. Blogs picked it up instantly, headlines screaming about an emotional breakdown, whispers of betrayal, and speculation that another scandal was brewing inside the Frost family. In Atlanta, phones buzzed as friends, castmates, and even enemies started texting one another, trying to confirm what exactly had just happened. It felt like an earthquake had ripped through not just the fanbase but the very core of love and hip-hop's most enduring couple. Rasheeda sat in her dressing room after cutting the live, her phone buzzing uncontrollably on the table. Kirk's name flashed across the screen again and again, but she couldn't bring herself to answer. Her hands shook as she stared at the flood of missed calls and messages. Not just from him but from Candy, Carly, Sierra, even Mona Scott herself. She muttered under her breath, "They all want a piece of me right now, but none of them know what I'm really holding inside." She pressed her palms against her eyes, trying to keep the tears from streaming down again, but the pressure inside her chest was unbearable. Meanwhile, fans online had already turned detectives. Twitter threads popped up analyzing the exact moment Rasheeda's voice cracked. The second she said, "I can't keep pretending everything is fine." Some were convinced Kirk had slipped back into old habits, rekindling with Jasmine or entertaining yet another woman behind closed doors. Others speculated it wasn't about infidelity at all, but something deeper, a hidden financial problem, a secret child, or even a family betrayal that went beyond marriage drama. The hashtags, #PrayForRasheeda, #FrostFamilyDrama, and #RASHEEDA Live started trending within an hour. Back at the Frost household, Kirk paced the living room, frustration etched all over his face. "Why would she go live like that? Why put all our business out there?" he muttered, throwing his phone onto the couch. Their son peeked out from the hallway, sensing the tension but too afraid to ask questions. For years, Kirk had played the villain in the eyes of the public, and this live only poured gasoline on that fire. "Now everybody thinks it's me again," he groaned, dialing Rasheeda once more. The call went unanswered, and he slammed his fist against the table. "Damn it, Rasheeda." At the same time, Jasmine Washington, who had been keeping a low profile for months, suddenly found her name back in the spotlight without even saying a word. Her DMs filled with fans asking, "Are you the reason Rasheeda's crying again?" She screenshotted a few, sent them to her friend, and laughed bitterly. "They always want to blame me," she said, though her eyes betrayed a flicker of curiosity. "But what if this time it ain't even about me?" Still, the attention was intoxicating, and she couldn't resist posting a cryptic story on Instagram, simple photo of her sipping wine with the caption, "Truth always finds the light." Within minutes, blogs were reposting it, fueling even more chaos. The pressure cooker finally exploded when Carly Red went live of her own. Never one to miss a chance at stirring the pot, Carly told her followers, Y'all, Rasheeda is really going through it. I just got off the phone with her. And let me tell you, this is deeper than y'all even think. Fans flooded the comments, demanding details, but Carly played coy, shaking her head and smirking. I can't say too much, but just know, it's about trust. And it's about somebody close to her that she never expected would hurt her this way. Those words were enough to spark an inferno of speculation. Was it Kirk? Was it Jasmine? Or was someone else entirely betraying Rasheeda's trust? Meanwhile, Rasheeda finally picked up her phone and saw a message from her mother. Baby, call me. Don't let them see you like this. We'll get through it together. That message made Rasheeda break down again, sobbing into her hands. She whispered, I'm tired of being strong, Mama. I'm tired of acting like everything is okay. She had carried years of betrayal, public humiliation, and whispered judgments, always putting on a brave face for her family and brand. But in that moment, she felt like the mask had finally cracked for good. Kirk showed up at the door of her boutique later that night, pounding until she let him in. The confrontation was as raw as the live had been. Why you gotta embarrass me like that, Rasheeda? He demanded, his voice sharp. She shot back through tears. Embarrass you? Do you know how many times I've been embarrassed? Kirk, do you know how much I've had to swallow just to keep this family together? Her voice trembled, but her eyes were fierce. You act like the world coming down on you. But what about me? What about the years I spent covering your tracks, standing by you when everyone else told me to walk away? Kirk's defensiveness faltered as he watched her crumble in front of him. I know I messed up before, he admitted, but this ain't what you think. Whatever you feeling, let's talk about it before the world gets their hands on it. But Rasheeda shook her head, whispering, it's already too late. They already know something's wrong. That night, the Frost household was quieter than ever, but outside their walls, the noise grew louder. Fans dissected every rumor, friends picked sides, and enemies sharpened their knives. The stage was set for secrets to spill, and the family was already teetering on the edge. The night after their confrontation, Rasheeda sat alone in the boutique, lights dimmed, staring at the racks of clothes she had once designed with pride. Her phone buzzed nonstop, but she couldn't bring herself to answer. Fans had clipped her live into short videos, spreading them across every platform. The headlines screamed louder than her own thoughts. Rasheeda breaks down in tears. Frost marriage on the rocks again. Love and hip-hop star can't hide pain. She whispered to herself. They don't even know the half of it. Meanwhile, Kirk drove around the city, unable to sit still. His mind was racing with panic not just about Rasheeda, but about the damage being done to their brand, their businesses, their family. He called his friend young Jock for advice. Jock picked up with his usual mix of humor and bluntness. Brr, the street's talking. Folks saying Rasheeda found out something big. You better get ahead of this before it eats you alive. Kirk groaned. It ain't even what they think, Jock, but how do I convince her when she don't even want to hear my voice? Jock sighed. Man, she tired. You gotta come clean about everything, even the small stuff, before she believes there's a bigger demon hiding in the closet. Back online, Jasmine fanned the flames with another sly move. She uploaded a throwback picture of her son with the caption, he deserves the truth one day. That single sentence lit the internet on fire. Comment sections erupted with arguments. Some fans accused her of trying to stir up drama, while others speculated that Rasheeda's emotional breakdown was connected to Jasmine and Kirk's past. Is there another child? One user asked. Did Kirk hide something again? Another posted. Within hours, the photo had been reposted by every gossip blog. The tension grew unbearable when Mona Scott called Rasheeda personally. Listen, sweetheart, Mona said, her voice calm but firm. The network's getting pressure. If you don't set the record straight soon, people are gonna fill in the blanks for you. And trust me, once the wrong story catches fire, you'll never put it out. Rasheeda snapped back. Mona, do you have any idea what it feels like to constantly live under a microscope? To have your marriage dragged, your motherhood questioned, your entire life reduced to gossip? Mona softened. I know, but you went live. You cracked the door open. Now everybody's pushing to see what's inside. The question is, are you gonna let them write your story? Or are you gonna take control of it? Later that evening, Kirk returned home only to find Rasheeda packing a bag. He froze at the sight of her folding clothes into a suitcase. Where you going? He asked, his voice low, almost pleading. She didn't look up. Somewhere I can breathe. Somewhere I don't feel like I'm drowning in your lies. Kirk's chest tightened. Rasheeda, I swear to you, I ain't keeping no new secrets. Don't let the past keep poisoning us. Not again. She finally looked at him, her face streaked with tears. But Kirk, it's not just the past. It's the way every time I think we healing, something else surfaces. I can't keep bleeding in public while you patch me up in private. As the Frosts argued behind closed doors, fans organized on social media, demanding clarity. Hashtags like #TellTheTruthKirk and #StandWithRasheeda trended. Even celebrities chimed in, with some siding with Rasheeda, others urging patience before judgment. Kandi Burruss tweeted, "My girl Rasheeda deserves peace. Y'all stop speculating and let her heal." Meanwhile, Spice dropped a cryptic Instagram live where she sang a freestyle verse clearly aimed at Kirk. Once a cheater, always a faker, truth cut deep like a laser. The shade wasn't subtle, and the fans ate it up. By the next morning, paparazzi had stationed themselves outside the Frost household. Cameras flashed as Rasheeda emerged with her suitcase, ignoring every question shouted her way. The image of her walking out while Kirk stood at the door, arms crossed and face grim, made headlines instantly. Rasheeda leaves homes the end of the Frost marriage. Behind those closed doors, Kirk's phone rang. It was Jasmine. He hesitated before answering, but curiosity got the better of him. "Why you calling me right now?" he snapped. Jasmine's voice was steady. "Because I think I know what's breaking Rasheeda, and it ain't just about me. There's something else you need to face, Kirk. Something you can't bury anymore." His eyes widened, his heart thudding. "What the hell you talking about?" Jasmine paused, letting the silence stretch. "You'll see soon enough. But when it comes out, don't say I didn't warn you." The drama had only just begun, and the Frost family's foundation was crumbling faster than anyone could stop it. Kirk stood frozen with the phone pressed to his ear, Jasmine's cryptic words replaying in his mind like a broken record. "Something you can't bury anymore." The sentence hit him harder than any headline or rumor ever could. He hung up without replying, pacing back and forth in the empty living room. His chest was tight, his palms sweating. He knew Jasmine wasn't just throwing shade. She had that calm tone in her voice, the kind that meant she was holding a card she hadn't yet played, and Kirk dreaded to think what it might be. Across town, Rasheeda checked into a quiet hotel under her mother's last name, desperate for peace but knowing full well the paparazzi would eventually sniff her out. Her phone buzzed endlessly, but she only answered one call: her best friend Kandi. "Sis, I saw you walking out," Kandi said, her voice a mix of concern and urgency. "What's going on for real? Don't play with me." Rasheeda's throat tightened as she whispered, "Kandi, I feel like I'm suffocating. Every time I think I can trust Kirk again, something new pops up. And Jasmine Lord, she always finds a way back in the picture." Kandi pressed, "So what did you find out?" Rasheeda hesitated, staring out the window at the city lights. "I don't even know if I've got the full truth yet, but my gut tells me this is bigger than before." Meanwhile, Jasmine leaned back on her couch, sipping wine, watching her phone light up with notifications. She had deliberately set the internet ablaze with her subtle posts, and now every gossip page had her name trending again. Her friend asked her, "Girl, why you poking the bear? You know Rasheeda already breaking down." Jasmine smirked. "Sometimes the truth gotta hurt before it heals. And besides, why should I stay silent when I know secrets that could flip everything upside down?" Her eyes glimmered with a mix of spite and satisfaction. At the Frost household, Kirk finally reached out to Jock again, desperation dripping from his voice. "Man, Jasmine called me. She knows something. Something she ain't said yet. I swear, if she drops it, I'm done." Jock leaned back in his chair, shaking his head. "Kirk, listen. The problem is, you already got a track record. Even if you innocent this time, nobody gonna believe you. Rasheeda already out the house. The fans already blaming you. And Jasmine, bro, she thrives in chaos. You better figure out what card she holding before she plays it in front of the whole world." Kirk groaned, rubbing his temples. "But what if I can't stop her?" Jock's tone dropped. "Then you better prepare yourself for the biggest storm you ever faced." The storm arrived sooner than expected. The very next morning, Jasmine went live on Instagram, her face calm but her words cutting sharp. "People always paint me as the villain," she began, looking straight into the camera. "But let's be real, every story got two sides. And I'm tired of being quiet while everybody blames me. So let me just say this. Rasheeda has every right to be hurt, but maybe she should start asking questions closer to home." The comments section exploded instantly. Thousands of fans begged her to spill the details, while others accused her of trying to destroy a family again. Jasmine only leaned closer to the camera, whispering, "Secrets don't stay buried forever." Then she ended the live, leaving millions of viewers stunned. Within hours, Rasheeda's hotel location was leaked, and paparazzi swarmed the building. Flashbulbs lit up the lobby as she walked through in sunglasses and a hoodie, trying to shield herself from the chaos. "Rasheeda, are you filing for divorce?" one shouted. Another screamed, "Is Kirk hiding another child?" Her silence spoke louder than words, and the photos went viral instantly. The image of her head bowed, suitcase in hand, became the defining picture of the scandal. Back at the boutique, Carly Red couldn't resist stirring things further. She went live, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. "I love Rasheeda. That's my girl. But y'all don't even know the half of it. She been carrying pain for years, and it's finally boiling over. And if Jasmine, talking about secrets, Hugh Child, Atlanta about to burn." The comments blew up, fans begging Carly to tell more. But she only giggled and signed off, leaving more questions than answers. That evening, Kirk finally managed to corner Rasheeda. He showed up at the hotel lobby, pleading with security until they let him through. When he saw her, he didn't waste a second. "Baby, listen to me," he begged, grabbing her hand. "I don't know what Jasmine's talking about, but I swear on my life, it ain't what you think. Please, don't let her play you like this." Rasheeda pulled her hand away, eyes cold. "Kirk, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep waking up wondering what new humiliation I'll face today. If Jasmine got something to say, let her say it. I'm done protecting you from the truth." Their argument was overheard by fans in the hotel, recorded on shaky phones, and uploaded to social media within minutes. Clips of Rasheeda's voice breaking as she shouted, "I'm done protecting you," went viral, shared across TikTok and Twitter with captions like, "This is the end of Frost Empire." Back in her apartment, Jasmine scrolled through the footage and smirked. She whispered to herself, "This ain't even the climax yet." She opened her phone, typed a message, and hit send. "If they don't tell the truth, I will." The Frost family had reached the breaking point, but Jasmine was ready to push them over the edge. Jasmine's message hit like a ticking bomb. "If they don't tell the truth, I will." Screenshots of it spread across blogs within the hour. Fans dissected every word, convinced she was sitting on something explosive. Twitter was in chaos, with hashtags like #Jasmine exposes Kirk and #RASHEEDA deserves better trending globally. Even mainstream outlets began covering it, framing it as the next chapter of a never-ending saga. For years, the Frosts had fought to rebuild their image, but now their lives were once again on public trial. Inside the hotel suite, Rasheeda sat curled up on the edge of the bed, staring at her phone. Her fingers hovered over Jasmine's message, trembling with both fear and rage. What else could she possibly know? She whispered. Her mother, who had joined her to offer comfort, touched her shoulder. "Baby, don't let her hold power over you like this. If Kirk hiding something, you need to hear it from him. But if Jasmine's just playing games, you gotta decide whether you're willing to let her break you every time." Rasheeda closed her eyes, tears slipping out. "I just want peace, Mama. Why is that so hard to have?" Meanwhile, Kirk sat in his car outside the hotel, scrolling through the blogs that already had Rasheeda's outburst plastered everywhere. He replayed her words over and over. "I'm done protecting you." His heart pounded. "Protecting me from what?" he muttered, as if saying it aloud could make sense of the storm. His phone rang. It was Carly Red. Against his better judgment, he picked up. "Kirk, I'ma be straight with you," Carly said, her tone sharp. "Jasmine ain't bluffing. She got something, and if she drop it, Rasheeda walking for good. You better fix this before she goes public." Kirk groaned. "Carly, you ain't helping." "What is it? What has she got?" Carly paused dramatically before replying. "Word is, she knows about some money, something you've been hiding. And if Rasheeda finds out from her instead of you, oh baby, it's over." Kirk slammed his fist against the dashboard. Damn it. Later that night, Jasmine turned the knife deeper. She posted another Instagram story, a blurry photo of what looked like a bank statement, with Kirk's name faintly visible. The caption read, "Secrets always leave a paper trail." Within minutes, fans went wild, convinced Kirk had been hiding money, maybe even a whole separate life. Some speculated he was funneling cash to another woman. Others claimed it was proof he was still supporting Jasmine in secret. The narrative grew messier by the hour, and every version painted Kirk as guilty. When Rasheeda saw the post, she nearly dropped her phone. "Is this what you've been keeping from me?" she shouted into the phone when Kirk called. Her voice cracked with fury. "All these years of loyalty, all the times I stood by you, and you still hiding money from me? From us?" Kirk stammered. "It ain't like that. It's business accounts, things I ain't fully explained yet. Baby, I wasn't trying to hurt you, I swear." But Rasheeda snapped. "Then why does Jasmine got the receipts and not me?" The silence that followed was deafening. Back online, fans were vicious. Memes spread comparing Kirk to a magician, always pulling new tricks out the hat. Some demanded Rasheeda file for divorce immediately, while others urged her to take everything he got. A smaller group accused Jasmine of manipulating the situation again, but her cryptic posts kept her followers hanging on every word. The chaos reached a peak when Mona Scott called both Kirk and Rasheeda, demanding a sit-down. "We can't let this play out in fragments," Mona insisted. "The whole world is already tuned in. If you don't address this together, Jasmine's gonna own the narrative, and that means your marriage, your brand, your entire Frost legacy. It's all on the line." Rasheeda sat silently, chewing her lip, while Kirk tried to argue, but Mona shut him down. "This isn't about pride, Kirk. This is about survival. You want to save your marriage, you show up, both of you." The following day, cameras flashed as Rasheeda and Kirk arrived separately at a rented mansion, where Mona had set up the meeting. Paparazzi swarmed the gates, desperate for a glimpse. Inside, tension crackled in the air as Rasheeda sat on one couch, arms crossed, and Kirk sat opposite, sweat beading on his forehead. Mona positioned herself between them like a referee. "All right," Mona began, her voice firm. "Before Jasmine takes this any further, we need the truth. What's going on with these bank statements, Kirk?" He shifted uncomfortably, glancing at Rasheeda's tearful but furious expression. "Look," he said slowly, "I did set up accounts, but it wasn't what Jasmine making it out to be. I wasn't giving her money. I wasn't hiding another family. I was putting something aside. For us. For when everything gets too crazy. For when I mess up again." His voice cracked. "It was like a safety net. But I never told you, because I knew you'd think I was planning for the end." Rasheeda's jaw clenched. "You damn right I'd think that. Do you know how it feels to hear this from her before I hear it from you? To know my husband trusts my enemy with the truth more than he trusts me." Her voice trembled, but her anger was clear. "You've broken me in front of the world too many times, Kirk. And now, I don't even know who you are anymore." Mona leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "So the question is, Rasheeda, do you believe him? Or is this the final straw?" The silence in the room was thick enough to choke on. Rasheeda stared at Kirk, her chest rising and falling heavily. He reached across the space, desperate. "Baby, please, don't let Jasmine win. Don't let this end us." Rasheeda pulled her hand back, her eyes glistening. "It's not about Jasmine winning, Kirk. It's about me finally deciding if I'm done losing." The cameras cut, but the drama was far from over. Word leaked almost instantly that the Frosts had filmed an emotional confrontation under Mona's supervision. Fans waited, hungry for the footage, while Jasmine sat back at home, smiling at the chaos she had set in motion. "They think this is the big reveal," she muttered to herself, swirling her wine glass. "But they ain't seen nothing yet." The internet thought the storm had peaked, but Jasmine hadn't even lifted the lid yet. The bank statements were nothing compared to what she had in her back pocket. She knew it, and that knowledge gave her a thrill she hadn't felt in years. Sitting in her living room, lights low, her phone blowing up with notifications, she typed out a new post. "Y'all keep asking me to spill. Okay, tonight, 9 p.m., I'll go live." That single announcement was enough to send shockwaves across the fanbase. Screenshots of her post spread like wildfire. Blogs began countdowns. YouTube channels scheduled streams with titles like, "Jasmine drops, Frost family bombshell, what will she say?" Twitter trended globally with hashtag Jasmine Live and hashtag RASHEEDA, deserves better. The pressure mounted with every passing hour, and both Rasheeda and Kirk felt it pressing down like a vice. In the boutique, Rasheeda paced back and forth, her phone clutched in her hand. Candy was there with her, trying to calm her down. "Sis, you don't have to watch this live. Whatever Jasmine says, you already know your truth. Don't let her drag you into her circus." But Rasheeda shook her head fiercely, her eyes blazing with exhaustion and fury. "No, I need to see it. If she's bold enough to go live and speak on my family again, I need to be there. I need to hear it from her mouth." At the Frost household, Kirk was on the phone with Jock again, panic rising in his throat. "Jock, I can't take this. If she really got something, Rasheeda gone for real this time." Jock exhaled slowly. "Brewer, listen to me. Jasmine feeds off this chaos. If you panic, you lose. What you need to do is sit your wife down and tell her every damn thing before Jasmine even gets the chance. Transparency is your only chance." Kirk rubbed his face, muttering, "But what if the truth breaks her more than the lies ever did?" Jock's voice dropped. "Then you should have thought about that before you created all these skeletons, dog." When 9 p.m. hit, Jasmine appeared live, her face glowing under the soft lighting, her voice steady and measured. "Everybody been asking, what do I know? What's the truth? Why Rasheeda so broken right now?" She paused for effect, scrolling through the thousands of comments flooding her screen. "Y'all think it's about me. You think it's about a side chick, or a baby. or some little drama, but nah. This is bigger than me, bigger than Kirk, bigger than all of us. She leaned closer, her eyes narrowing. Let me ask y'all something. How would you feel if the person you trusted the most, the person you built a life with, was living a double life financially, emotionally, maybe even physically? And not just with Mead. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking about someone else, somebody closer than you think. The comments exploded. Fans demanded names, begged for proof. Jasmine smirked. I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. But since Kirk wanna act like he's squeaky clean, and since Rasheeda wanna keep protecting him, I'll just say it. Kirk got ties to somebody y'all all know. And the gag is it ain't me. She paused dramatically, scrolling again. Check the paperwork. Follow the money. The other woman ain't just random. That's why Rasheeda's crushed. That's why she can't even look at him right now. And if y'all don't believe me, don't worry. The receipts are already in circulation. The live ended abruptly, but the internet detonated. Fans speculated wildly, some pointing fingers at Rasheeda's cousins, others at her longtime friends, even her inner circle. Blogs lit up with theories, and the Frost family name trended in the worst way possible. The chaos became unbearable. Rasheeda, watching the live in silence with Candy by her side, dropped her phone onto the couch and buried her face in her hands. I can't breathe. I can't, she choked, her body trembling. Candy grabbed her shoulders. Sis, don't do this to yourself. She playing with words. She know exactly how to twist a knife without even saying the name. But Rasheeda shook her head violently. No, she ain't lying. That's what makes this worse. The next morning, she ain't lying. That's what makes this worse. The next morning, a new leak hit the blogs. Screenshots of text messages allegedly between Kirk and a woman surfaced, with dates spanning over a year. The woman wasn't Jasmine. She wasn't some unknown. She was Kendra Robinson, young Jock's wife. The screenshots showed late-night check-ins, financial transfers, and even a photo of Kirk and Kendra at a restaurant that neither of them had ever publicly acknowledged. The internet went nuclear. Fans screamed betrayal, not just against Rasheeda, but against Jock too. So the Frosts and the Robinsons were tangled all along. Headlines read. Jock's phone lit up non-stop, his jaw tightening as he scrolled through the mess. He stormed into the Frost household, his voice booming. Kirk, tell me this ain't true. Tell me these receipts are fake before I burn this whole damn house down. Kirk stood pale, speechless, his eyes darting as Rasheeda looked on with devastation. Jock's voice cracked as he shouted, "You was supposed to be my brother, and now you telling me you was out here with my wife." Rasheeda sobbed, covering her face, while Kirk stammered, "Jock, it ain't like that, it ain't what it looks like." Jock lunged forward, his fists clenched, only to be held back by security who had rushed in to separate them. Rasheeda's voice broke through the chaos. "You ruined everything, Kirk. You ruined our marriage, our family, our friendships. There's nothing left to protect." And just like that, the Frost family imploded. But Jasmine wasn't finished yet. Watching the footage of Jock nearly attacking Kirk, she whispered to herself, "Now let's see them try to rebuild from this." The fallout from Jasmine's live and the leaked texts was unlike anything Atlanta had seen in years. Streets buzzed, blogs refreshed every hour, and group chats exploded with disbelief. Kirk Frost accused of secretly entangling himself with Kendra Robinson, his own friend's wife, while Rasheeda's heartbreak poured out for millions to watch it, was chaos turned spectacle. The betrayal wasn't just marital now, it was woven into friendships, alliances, and reputations that had been built on reality TV for over a decade. At dawn, Kendra herself broke her silence. She posted a black screen with white text. "Don't believe everything you see. I'll speak when the time is right." The internet immediately split down the middle. Some fans rallied to her defense, claiming the screenshots were obviously doctored. Others were convinced she was guilty, that her silence until now was proof enough. The weight of the rumors bore down on her marriage. Too Young Jock was livid, pacing their home, yelling into his phone at producers, at bloggers, at anyone who'd listen. "They trying to break me down? Man, they trying to play me like a fool on the world stage." But deep down, Jock was unsettled. The texts had details only someone close could know. There were dates matching nights Kendra had been out with friends. There were mentions of money transfers he hadn't authorized. He slammed his phone on the counter and glared at Kendra. "Tell me right now, was you talking to him? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't give me some PR line. I want the damn truth." Kendra's eyes welled up with tears, but she didn't flinch. "Jock, listen to me. I was never in no relationship with Kirk. But yes, we talked. Yes, there was money, but it wasn't what you think. He helped me cover a situation I couldn't bring to you. Something personal. Something I was too scared to tell you about." Jock's voice thundered. "Personal? You kept it from your husband but told him. Of all people, him. His fists shook as he tried to process the betrayal, whether emotional or physical. The cameras, which had been quietly rolling, caught every flicker of pain across his face. Meanwhile, Rasheeda sat with her mother, scrolling through the footage of Jock and Kendra's drama. Her heart ached, but not with shock. She looked exhausted, hollow, as though her tears had run dry. "See, Mama," she whispered. "It ain't just me. He taints everything he touches. Even Jock can't trust his marriage now." Her mother held her hand tightly. "Baby girl, you don't have to carry his sins no more. Let him drown in his own lies. Save yourself." Later that afternoon, Mona Scott arranged another emergency sit-down. This time with all 4 players, Kirk, Rasheeda, Jock, and Kendra. The tension in the room was suffocating. Jock refused to sit down, pacing back and forth, while Rasheeda sat stone-faced, refusing to even glance at Kirk. Kendra kept her eyes down, her hands twisting in her lap. Mona clapped her hands sharply to cut through the silence. "Enough of the games," Mona snapped. "This story is already global. Y'all either confront it here, together, or Jasmine's gonna keep dictating the narrative. And trust me, she ain't slowing down." Jock spun around, pointing at Kirk. "You my brother, man, my brother. And you sat up here moving like this behind my back? How long you think I was gonna be blind?" Kirk shook his head rapidly. "Jock, no. I swear it wasn't like that. It was never about me and Kendra being together. She came to me for help. That's it?" Rasheeda scoffed, her voice sharp. "You expect us to believe that? You, the same man who lied, cheated, and humiliated me for years, suddenly playing the savior. Please, Kirk. The whole world knows better by now." Kendra finally broke her silence, her voice trembling but clear. "It's true. I went to Kirk, but not because I wanted him, because I was drowning. I had debt, personal legal trouble, and I didn't want Jock finding out. Kirk was the only one who knew how to move money around without people asking questions. That's why the transfers look shady. But I swear to God, nothing physical ever happened." Jock's face was red with fury. "So you trusted him more than me. You brought this snake into our marriage while I was out here defending you, building with you. Do you know how that makes me look?" He slammed his hand against the table. "You might as well have slept with him, because the betrayal feel the same." Rasheeda finally turned to Kirk, her eyes burning. "Do you see what you've done? You poisoned my life, and now you poisoned his too. You always said you were trying to protect us, but all you do is destroy." Her voice broke, raw with pain. "I don't even hate you anymore, Kirk. I just feel nothing." The cameras zoomed in on Kirk's face as those words landed. His eyes glistened, his lips parted, but no words came out. For the first time, he seemed stripped of excuses, stripped of charm, stripped of power. Just a man crumbling under the weight of everything he'd built and broken. And then, just when the room felt like it couldn't fracture further, Jasmine went live again. This time, she wasn't coy. She showed what looked like notarized documents, flipping them toward the camera. "Y'all thought it was just texts. Nah, here's proof of accounts, proof of transactions, and proof that Kirk been playing everybody for fools. And before you ask how I got this, let's just say people closer to him than you think are tired of his games." Within minutes, phones buzzed around the table. Everyone's eyes darted to the viral live. Jock exploded. "This is it. This is war now." Rasheeda's chest heaved, tears brimming once again, but her voice was steady when she said, "I'm done. Kirk, this is the end. I can't fight for us anymore." Her words echoed in the silence that followed. Cameras captured it. Blogs ran with it. Fans clipped it. This was the moment Rasheeda finally let go. But Jasmine's smirk at the end of her live suggested the story wasn't finished. Not yet. The city was buzzing like never before. Atlanta was on fire, not from music releases or celebrity parties, but from one family's destruction spilling out into every phone screen in America. Rasheeda's declaration, "I'm done, Kirk. This is the end," had already been clipped, memed, and blasted across timelines worldwide. Fans swore they saw freedom in her eyes, the kind of resolve she had never shown in the years of betrayal and humiliation. The Frost Empire looked like it was collapsing, but what no one realized yet was that Jasmine wasn't finished playing her game. Back at her apartment, Jasmine reclined on her sofa, scrolling through the avalanche of comments. Thousands praised her for finally exposing the truth, while others cursed her name for being messy and vindictive. She sipped her wine and smiled faintly. "Y'all don't even know. That wasn't the finale. That was just the setup." Her phone dinged with a private message from an unknown account. She opened it and froze for a second before her lips curled into a wicked grin. Attached was a video, grainy but clear enough to recognize Kirk's voice, a secret recording. Meanwhile, Rasheeda sat in silence with her mother. For once, the phone in her hand felt like an anchor she wanted to throw into the ocean. She scrolled past gossip blogs, past endless hashtags, past even the calls from Mona Jock and past endless hashtags, past even the calls from Mona Jock and Candy? All she wanted was peace. Mama, she whispered, her voice breaking, I gave my whole life to protecting a man who never protected me, and now the whole world is watching me crumble. Her mother brushed her tears away gently. No, baby, they ain't watching you crumble, they watching you rise, you stronger than all this mess? And now, you got to show them you can stand tall without him. Kirk, meanwhile, was spiraling, alone in his car, engine off. He replayed Jasmine's words and the crowd's outrage in his head. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Rasheeda's face when she said she felt nothing for him. Nothing. The word cut deeper than anger or hate. He banged the steering wheel and shouted, Damn it, Jasmine, you won't stop until I'm 6 feet under, huh? His phone buzzed Carly again. He ignored it. Buzzed again this time Jock. He picked up reluctantly. Jock's voice was like thunder. I don't care what you say, Kirk, you crossed a line with me and my wife. Don't come near me, don't come near Kendra, and don't come near my family. You dead to me? You hear me? The line went dead before Kirk could respond. He slammed his head back against the seat, groaning, This is it. I lost everybody. At 8 p.m. sharp, Jasmine went live again, but this time she wasn't sitting pretty with wine. She was serious, eyes locked on the camera. Y'all thought those bank statements were messy. Y'all thought the texts were wild. Baby, let me introduce you to the receipts y'all ain't ready for. She clicked play on the video she had been sent. The screen shook, audio muffled at first, but then Kirk's voice rang out, unmistakable. As long as Rasheeda don't find out about the second account, we good. I'll keep Jock distracted, and Kendra won't say nothing. That way, the money stays safe. The comments went nuclear. Fans screamed betrayal, some even saying Kirk was orchestrating schemes bigger than anyone imagined. Blogs clipped the audio instantly, labeling it the Frost conspiracy. Twitter exploded with think pieces about hidden money, betrayal between friends, and how Rasheeda had been trapped in a toxic cycle for too long. Rasheeda saw the clip within minutes. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. Candy rushed over, pulling her into a hug. That's it, sis. That's the nail in the coffin. You can't go back now. He admitted it with his own damn mouth. Rasheeda cried into her friend's shoulder, her body shaking. How do I even survive this, Candy? How do I put my life back together when everything is shattered? Candy whispered fiercely, by remembering who the hell you are. You, Rasheeda Frost. You a boss. You ain't just a wife or a victim. You a woman who built an empire. And you'll rebuild it again without him. The very next morning, Rasheeda went live herself. No tears this time. No shaky voice, just calm, steady determination. Y'all been watching my pain unfold. Y'all been speculating, laughing, crying, judging. But today, I take my power back. I stood by a man who didn't deserve me for far too long. I forgave, I endured, I protected. But today, I choose me. I choose peace. I choose freedom. This chapter is closed. Her words were raw, simple, but they echoed louder than any of Jasmine's stunts. The live hit millions of views within an hour, and fans filled the comments with praise. Yes, Queen, finally. We stand with you. Hashtag free RASHEEDA trending worldwide. Kirk watched the live from his phone, tears spilling down his cheeks. He whispered to himself, She really gone this time. For once, there was no scheme to pull her back, no apology big enough, no diamond ring to patch the cracks. Rasheeda had chosen herself and in doing so, she had united the fans behind her like never before. But Jasmine, watching from her own apartment, wasn't smiling this time. For the first time in years, the spotlight wasn't on her. It was on Rasheeda, glowing with resilience. Jasmine muttered, So maybe she won this round. But the game ain't over. And with that, she closed her phone, already planning her next move. Rasheeda's live shook the culture to its core. The internet didn't just watch, it celebrated. Hashtags crowned her the queen who finally broke free. Celebrities posted in support. Mary J. Blige shared a story with strength of a woman blasting, while Cardi B tweeted, Rasheeda been through too much. Glad sis choosing herself. Fans flooded her comments with love, promising to support her boutique, her music, her ventures. For the first time in years, the narrative wasn't about her being humiliated, it was about her rising from the ashes. But behind the cameras, the wounds cut deeper. Kirk retreated into silence. He avoided the spotlight, ducked paparazzi, and spent his nights scrolling through old photos of him and Rasheeda. He whispered into the dark, How the hell did I let it get this far? His friends stopped answering his calls. Jock refused to see him. Even his children barely spoke to him without bitterness. The Frost name had gone from respected to ridiculed overnight, and the empire he built on reality TV now looked like rubble. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was glowing publicly, but privately she was still bleeding. In quiet moments, she caught herself replaying old memories. Hearing Kirk's laughter, remembering the early days when their love had felt pure. But she pushed the thoughts away, whispering, "That man doesn't exist anymore." Her mother and Candy kept her strong, reminding her she had businesses to run, fans to inspire, and a new chapter to write. Still, late at night, the silence of her hotel room pressed heavy on her chest. Then came Jasmine's next move. Everyone thought she'd disappear after Rasheeda's empowering live, but Jasmine wasn't built for the background. She teased her followers with a cryptic post. "Y'all cheering too early. Queens fall too." The internet erupted again, speculating what she meant. Was she hinting at another secret? Did she have dirt on Rasheeda this time? Bloggers began whispering about a rumored final twist Jasmine had been holding back. Something that could drag Rasheeda down from the pedestal fans had just placed her on. At a production meeting, Mona Scott confronted Jasmine. "You've done enough damage. Let the story die down." But Jasmine smirked. "Mona, you know me better than that. If there's fire, I'ma add gasoline." Mona slammed the table. "You already turned Atlanta upside down. If you go after Rasheeda now, you'll look like the villain forever." Jasmine leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "Or I'll finally get the crown. 'Cause no matter what y'all say, the spotlight always comes back to me." The final twist arrived a week later. Out of nowhere, a leaked audio clip surfaced online. It wasn't Kirk's voice this time, it was Rasheeda's. The recording caught her in a heated argument with a woman who sounded suspiciously like Kendra. In the clip, Rasheeda's voice cracked with rage as she shouted, "Don't play with me, Kendra. I know what you did. You betrayed me just like he did." Kendra's muffled voice replied, "I didn't sleep with him, Rasheeda, but you know damn well you ain't been innocent either." The internet froze. Innocent. Fans dissected the line to death. What did Kendra mean? Had Rasheeda been hiding secrets of her own? Blogs twisted the narrative, suggesting Rasheeda had her own skeletons tucked away while painting herself as the victim. Jasmine reposted the clip with one word, "Checkmate." The backlash was immediate. Some fans turned on Rasheeda, accusing her of hypocrisy. Others defended her fiercely, saying Jasmine was twisting the truth again. Still, the damage was done. The narrative of Rasheeda as the pure victim cracked under the weight of suspicion. Headlines screamed, "Did Rasheeda have secrets too?" The family drama flipped once more, the cycle of betrayal spiraling without end. Through it all, Rasheeda stood tall in public, but her heart was heavy. She stared into the mirror late at night, whispering to herself, "How much more can I take?" Her strength inspired millions, but deep down, she feared Jasmine's final twist had stolen her chance at true peace. And Jasmine, she poured herself another glass of wine, scrolling through the chaos she'd unleashed. "Satisfied. Told y'all," she murmured, smirking at the storm outside her window. Queens fall too. And now, as this storm settles into something deeper, it all comes down to you watching right now. You've seen the heartbreak. You've seen the betrayals, the accusations, the tears, the silence, and the bombshells that left families divided and friendships shattered. Rasheeda went live with her whole soul on display, and the world demanded answers. Jasmine dropped her so-called receipts. Kirk stumbled under the weight of his own words, and Jock was left to question his entire marriage. The Frost legacy has been shaken to its core. And every corner of Atlanta is still whispering, still guessing, still waiting for Atlanta is still whispering, still guessing, still waiting for the next shoe to drop. But here's the truth. This story isn't over. And what happens next might be even more explosive than everything we've witnessed so far. Will Rasheeda truly stand firm on her decision to walk away? Or will the history, the children, the empire she built with Kirk pull her back into the cycle? Will Jock forgive Kendra? Or will this scandal destroy two marriages at once? And Jasmine, will she finally fade into the background? Or is she preparing her next chapter, one that could shake the entire love and hip-hop franchise to its knees? You, the fans, hold the power here. The comments, the views, the voices flooding social media, they shape the outcome more than you realize. Every clip you share, every hashtag you push, every reaction you type keeps the pressure on these stars to reveal more, to go further, to tell truths they've tried to bury. So don't just watch, be part of it. Drop your thoughts below right now. Tell us what you believe. Is Jasmine the villain, or is she finally the truth teller Atlanta needed? Is Kirk still hiding even bigger secrets, or has he already lost everything? And most importantly, Do you think Rasheeda should stay strong and cut ties for good? Or is there still hope for forgiveness after all these years of chaos? This isn't just their drama, it's yours too. The Frost saga has always thrived because of the fans who refuse to look away. So if you're shocked, if you're heartbroken, if you're angry, let it be known. Light up the comments. Share this video with your friends, your cousins, your group chats. Let the world know where you stand. Because the more you speak, the more the truth comes out, and the more pressure builds on every player in this twisted game. And don't forget, this channel is where you'll hear it first. Every twist, every leak, every confrontation that the blogs don't have the guts to tell you straight, we break it down here. So hit that like button right now to show love. Smash the subscribe button so you never miss the next chapter, because trust me, this story isn't slowing down. And turn on notifications, because the next bombshell could drop tonight, and you'll want to be the first to know. Finally, I want to hear directly from you. What do you think is the real truth behind that leaked audio? Do you believe Rasheeda's completely innocent? Or do you think Jasmine exposed something deeper than we realized? And what about Kirk? Can he ever redeem himself? Or is this the final curtain for the Frost marriage? Drop your raw, unfiltered thoughts below. I'll be reading through every single comment, and the most powerful ones might even get featured in our next video. This is more than gossip. This is history in the making, the fall of an empire, the rise of a queen, and the chaos that might still be waiting in the shadows. So don't just watch, be part of it. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the truth may be painful, but it's only getting started.